Good afternoon, family, friends, and fellow sojourners. I thought that I would share a few stories about my grandmother with you. So many years ago when I was a young girl into my early adulthood, she had a wonderful strawberry patch in her yard. A lot of work. She had to do a lot of weeding and picking strawberries and processing them like I'm doing now. And everybody loved Grandma's strawberries, including me and my children. But she complained about the fact that everybody wanted to eat her strawberries, but no one wanted to come and weed her garden, water her plants, pick them, process them. But she did it because she loved her family. And what I'm doing today is I'm processing a whole flat of strawberries that I got at the a farmer's market today, because we are not getting any strawberries in my garden this year because of the hail that we had, that where the Lord said to me when I was complaining about the hail taking out my flowers, and he said, be thankful for all things. And as I go through these strawberries, it reminds me of my grandmother, and some of the things that she used to say to me was, sister, don't ever waste food. Now, she'd be upset if she saw all of this waste here, but a lot of this is green spots that aren't very delightful for my family, but there would be totally wonderful for my chickens and our pig, our turkey, our ducks. So it's not going to go to waste. It's going to go someplace besides the compost bin. And even still, compost bin is a good thing. But when she told me not to waste anything, and one time I was peeling potatoes, she said, sister, you're peeling that potato too thick. That's a lot of good potato in there. And so she taught me how to do a razor thin cut on the skins of those potatoes. And she told me, don't ever waste water, because when she raised her family, they didn't have a well, and they had to go down to a creek about, probably 3/4 of a mile down the hill to go get their water, and then bring those heavy buckets back up to the house. And there was an old saying about don't throw the baby out with the bath water, and the reason that they said that was because water was so hard to get that they would put all the water in a big like a bathtub, and then the oldest, my grandparents, and then on down the line would get to take their bath first. And of course, towards the very end, the baby would be the last one to bathe. And so the old saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is pretty descriptive, isn't it? And so I learned not to waste water. And boy, today, water is the new gold. It's the new oil. Because we can't sustain what we've been doing, watering our yards and places like Las Vegas and their big casinos using a lot of water for entertainment has got to stop, because we cannot maintain that. Water are running into dry wells and all kinds of things. So water is a big issue. But as I was peeling these strawberries, I got a good deal on them, and I'm always about a good deal, trying to be a good steward of the monies that the Lord gave us. And came across this flat of strawberries for $12. Now, $12 for 8 1-pound packages like this was a pretty good deal, because I looked at some Bing cherries, and there were $8 a pound, $7.99 a pound, and the way they had them bagged up, it was 2.5 pounds, so it would cost $20 for a small bag of tomatoes. So I jumped at the chance, because I'm not going to make strawberry preserves or anything other than I'm going to dice them up and make a sweet dessert for my family, my husband, and my children that come to visit, grandchildren. But as I'm going through this, I realized why they were doing a good sale on these strawberries, because as I'm going through, and I don't know if you can see this, but this strawberry right here has mold in it. Can you see that mold? Now that is a serious issue, because if that mold spreads to the next strawberry and the strawberry next to it becomes moldy, and then the whole tray will be spoiled. Well, it reminds me of sin and what sin will do in your life if it goes unchecked. If you let sin grow as bad as this one strawberry, it will impact your walk with the Lord. It will impact your relationships, your finances, whatever sin is. It's going to impact things like a ripple effect. It'll just go on and on and on until there is no stopping it. But that's what reminded me of my grandmother when she said, don't waste food. Well, if she'd seen that, she would have thrown it in her compost pile. She wouldn't even have fed it to the chickens, because mold isn't good for any living creature. So this I used to consider a chore. It was a lot of work to can and to do all those things that I just have done for years. Put in the freezer, dehydrated, frozen for later on. So I'm trying to be wise so that we'll have fresh fruit this winter. It'll be frozen, and I'll either make juice for it for fruit smoothies, or I'll spread it over pancakes, or do all kinds of wonderful things. But it is a labor of love, because I do love my family and I want them to be fed nutritious things. And but it reminded me of my grandmother and the lessons that she taught me. She's the one that said, sister, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. And I truly believe that when I sat up in bed that night and blurted out a basket full of broken eggs, and it became the name of my book. It was reminiscent of what my grandmother told me many years ago when I was a city girl and wasn't raised in the country, and I didn't know what it meant to put all your eggs in one basket. But anyway, this is going out to the chickens and the other animals, and I am almost done. I think I have 2 more packages to do. Doesn't that look yummy? I wish you could have some. So anyway, just a quick lesson about some of the things that my grandmother taught me of a devout Christian. And if my grandchildren were here, I'd be teaching them the same thing that I'm trying to convey to you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little story and this little example of what sin can do in your life. Anyway, God bless you, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.